Hello and welcome to the Philippines. There is fun and relaxation to be had in the Philippines on Camotes Islands, but first you have to get there. And today I'm going to tell you a little bit about the ferry situation and a little bit about some of the food and other establishments on the islands. This is Camotes Falls. It's on Poro Island. And you can hire somebody to take you there or rent a bike, and a little bit of a walk to get there once you stop. The colored in areas on this map is the Cebu province islands. You've got the main large long island of Cebu. Off to the right of that you have the Camotes Islands, and that's what we're talking about today. That's made up of 4 islands, 2 larger ones, another fairly decent sized one, and then one very small one. Keep in mind that ferry routes and time schedules can change fairly quickly, so it's best to contact the ferry company or a travel agent in regard to the times and days. But right now you can catch ferries out of Cebu City on Pier 1, which is kind of the downtown area of Cebu City, and it will take you to the San Francisco area, the main area right in between the 2 islands, where they'll drop you off there, and then you can hire tricycles or motorbikes to take you where you want to go from there. I took a little different route. I went north of Cebu City. I took a taxi for 1,200 pesos. You can get it, should be able to get it for 1,000. About an hour ride north of Cebu City, and they have a port in Danao City that takes you over to Consuelo, which is on the west side or left side of San Francisco Island, closer to the resort that I was going to be staying at. John from Cindy's Restaurant in San Francisco town, which is in San Francisco Island, right where the 2 islands come together there, has put together a real nice map that you can purchase, lots of details on it. And anyway, where these 2 islands come together, San Francisco and Poro Island, that area on San Francisco Island is the main San Francisco town area. There are some lodges there, restaurants, bars, and I'll give you additional information on that a little bit later. But that is if you take the ferries from Cebu City, that's the general area you come into. Most of the resorts on the island are on San Francisco Island, I understand. You can buy tickets the day that you leave at the ticket offices at Pier 1, but you will save yourself some time if you check into some of the travel agencies at the malls and different places in the city and buy your tickets ahead of schedule. Make sure that that route is going to go. Keeping in mind that bad weather often shuts down the shipping on the seas. Every port and pier is set up a little bit differently in the Philippines. This is Danao City, an hour north of Cebu City, and you buy your ticket, that little window there, you go down here, and I almost went by without paying for my 5 peso terminal fee. Every terminal has a fee of some sort, 5 or 10 or 20 pesos, and then this is down to the waiting area. One thing you will usually find is that a lot of these, especially the smaller ports, do not have air conditioning. They may have a couple fans running, but oftentimes not air conditioning. So you're going to have to deal with that. And then they have waiting areas inside and outside the building. I was going to take a bus or V-Hire van up here, but the taxi driver I happened to get to take me to the bus station was from Camotes, and he was very knowledgeable about the time schedule of the boats up here. And the only way I was going to make this 8:30 was to take him up there, so I paid the extra. Now we have 2 ro-ro ferries up here, and then probably a faster ferry on the right there. The roll-on, roll-off, the ro-ro ferries you can drive trucks and cars and motorbikes, whatever you have there. Load pallets of goods there, and they'll take you wherever you're going. Cost you extra for that vehicle, obviously. I think my ticket going from here over to Consuelo on San Francisco Island was about 150 pesos, maybe a little bit less than that. I can't find the receipt. Not very much at all, about $3 US. And these are the roll-on, roll-off ferries, fairly large. They're not the fastest in the world. It was a little bit of a slow ride. All the air conditioning seats were sold out, and we were pretty full up on top also, up in the open area. We didn't have very much breeze, so it was a little warm going across, but it is what it is. Most of these ships of any size at all have some sort of lounge, snack bar, little restaurant area. Sometimes that is air conditioned, so even if you don't get an air conditioned seat, you can find some air conditioning to sit in if you get there before everybody else does. Be aware of the weather when you're traveling, because when there's a typhoon coming in, a big low pressure system, and the seas get a little rough, there are times that they do shut the ferry routes down. And that happened over the very busy Easter holiday weekend here when everybody's traveling. Also, any holiday, whether the weather is good or bad, any holiday, all these people travel to their provinces or to their cities to visit family. That's a really big thing, and you're going to have a hard time getting tickets. If you get a ticket, it's going to be a packed boat, believe me. They usually have a television or two going on these ferries, and this particular one had the NBA championship playoffs going on. Lots of people interested in that. Here's a look at the ferry after most of the people got off here. I don't like to get in that line, so I wait till everybody debarks and make my way. Here around this side, here's one of those little lounge type areas that you can hang out in. If you get there before everybody else does. But they serve, some serve soft drinks and snacks, some serve even alcohol, I think. The resort I'm going to is almost in the center of your screen there on the upper part, Mangadlong Rock Resort. And it's going to cost me 30 pesos to take a motorbike ride down there. There's just a ton of people waiting out at the pier, asking for your service. So they have jeepneys, they have tricycles, and they have motorbikes waiting to take you and your gear wherever you want to go. We are deboarding the ferry here. The vehicles are driving off. This is Consuelo. It's on the west side of San Francisco Island, and it is very close to the resort that I'm staying at, so that's why I chose to stop here. If you are staying over here for a short time or a long time and you order something, chances are part of that trip is going to be on a boat or ferry of some sort, and it's probably going to take longer than you're used to getting it. Overnight, 2-day type deliveries in the U.S., Australia, Britain, wherever you're at, Europe. I don't know about the rest of the world, but these boats run a little bit slower, and if weather is bad, they don't run at all, so keep that in mind. I think these kids are diving for pesos. The tourists will throw money into the sea, and the kids will dive to get it, and that's their reward. A friend of mine that lives here has lived here for about 3 years, told me that 3 years ago when he first started coming here, it was difficult to find a ride once you got off a ferry. But in the last 3 years, the Camotes Islands have developed, and the population has increased rapidly. Infrastructure is trying to catch up with all that. But what you will find up here is a large group of people with motorbikes, and tricycles, and jeepneys who will take you wherever you need to go. And you can also rent a bike. They will offer to be your tour guide, and they will offer to rent you a motorbike. I don't know if they rent out jeepneys or tricycles.
Huh? How much? The rock? The rock? Yeah. 30? Okay.
If you are on a ferry that takes you into San Francisco town area, you can go to Cindy's if you want one of these maps. He's done a really good job of putting those together. And he is just up the street from the Baywalk area, which also has the market in it. And he's sold over 44,000 burgers already in the last several years. And there's a look at his establishment. If you missed a ride in this tricycle, it's just a short block's walk from Cindy's up to the Twin Island and Bar. And they also have a menu. They serve pizzas and spaghetti, I think, and a number of other things. I'm standing outside the Twin Island Bar, and that sign down there on the left right there is Cindy's, so not very far at all. As you follow that track down that way, that is the Baywalk. And you go to the right, there is the market, lots of other food stands, that type of thing. Right across the street to the right of me is one of the few lodges up here. The Twin Islands Bar and Grill looks like a rather comfortable place to hang out. There's one of the lodges in town across the street from the bar. Look at inside. Really looks like a comfortable place to hang out if that's what you want to do. And they've got some nice, interesting paintings on the wall of MacArthur's Landing back in the Philippines also. There's a look at the Baywalk, and just to the right of that is the large building. That large blue building area is the market. There are a number of caves on the island, many of them with pools in that you can swim in, and then you have Bucé Falls here, which is, I'm not going to jump from that high spot up there, but I don't think I will anyway. But that's an opportunity. It's the dry season when we were here, and the water was flowing. The advice is that you should ask around, see if the water is flowing during the dry season before you go up there. It is a bit of a hike once you park. I think it was 10 pesos to park your vehicle to get in. Very low price. That is a man-made pool with 3 levels to it, and they empty it out, I think, once a week or so to clean it out. But big old vine there that people are sitting on and allowed us to take their picture. And then here's the walk in and out. It's, I don't know, 1/8 of a mile. I don't know if it's that far. It wasn't too far, but bring shoes that you can walk on rough terrain in. And during the wet season, the stream will be going quite a bit more than it is now, so you'll be wading through water to get there. My friend who lives here calls these islands the islands of no return because some foreigners, when they arrive, they decide to stay. If you are interested in the map that John has there at Cindy's, this is an idea of the types of things that are on there. That I couldn't get the whole thing on my page here and able to read it, but gives you an idea what's available on that map. It was time to leave, April 28th, 2017, and it was the first day the fast ferry service out of Consuelo on the island of San Francisco was going to leave and make its first voyage. I was able to buy a ticket on that ship, that fast ferry. Here I'm waiting to board. All these vehicles are coming on to Consuelo Port, are unloading off of a roll-on, roll-off, a ro-ro ferry, a large ro-ro ferry. Buses full of tourists and freight of all sorts coming onto the island. Pick up loads of tourists, or maybe they're coming home from a trip someplace, a tourist bus from Mandaue City, which is the city right next to Cebu City. And buses and vans full of tourists for the weekend. This happens to be a Friday. Lots of people coming on to Camotes Island. A bus from Cebu. And another bus behind that. There again, there's the large Ro-Ro ferry, carries a lot of freight, and then our little bitty fast craft, and it was fast. The big ferry took almost 2 hours to get over here. This one ended up taking an hour and 10 minutes, and it did fly. You'll see here in just a little bit. Boarding here, watch your step. Don't want to fall in between the dock and the ship, I'm quite certain. I paid 380 pesos, I believe, for a air conditioning seat down below, and I took a look at that and decided to go up above where I could get a lot better view. We were moving along at a pretty good clip and had a nice breeze up there. I never did feel uncomfortably warm. But these are the seats, nice, new, clean, and not a lot of, it's a smaller ship. They don't have as many seats on it, obviously. And so to get upstairs, we go around the outside to some stairs in the back.
I have a YouTube channel called Amazing Philippines. Yes. So I will put some of this. I've been here for 4 days, so it'll be on maybe in a week or so.
They ended up giving everyone a free bottle of water and a little snack bar as well as some candy. I don't know if it's because it was a maiden voyage or if that was going to happen on each and every voyage. I was told that the tickets would probably sell out fast on Sunday. This was Friday at 11 a.m. and I came in the day earlier, came in on Thursday and asked about purchasing the tickets. They said you can't purchase them early.
So do you get days off? Do you get a day off a week?
No, sir.
No time, no days off?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
But if the waves are in the oceans.
If the weather is bad,
Yes.
you get time off.
Yes, sir.
Then where do you sleep, on the boat?
No, sir.
In the
We
hotel?
have a pension house, sir.
Oh, okay. So wherever you are, if you're stuck because of weather, they get you a hotel room.
That was interesting, talking to the girl there. These people that work on the boats, they don't get any time off unless there's bad weather, and then wherever they're at, they put them up in a hotel room someplace. I'm sure as a crew, several to a room, I'm sure. But interesting life. She hadn't been home. She lives up on Luzon, near Manila, and she hadn't been home in over a year. And that's our port right back there to the right, that little white spot back there. So we're making very fast time here. It was an interesting ride.
Thank you. Hey, thank you.
Only 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, very good.
Yes.
Very good.
Of course. See you.
Yeah.
This is the Camotes Island port that they're now using for this run at least, and it is right next to the Camotes Yacht Club. It's just off there to our right there, to the left now, and this is the first time the ship has come in here. The people to the left here, they're waiting to get on this boat, I believe, or maybe there's another boat coming in they're going to get on. There are no taxis, jeepneys, or motorbike taxis down here. Apparently, they haven't heard about that yet. I suspect that in the next week or so, they will be aware of the time schedules for these boats, and there will be a few of them down here to take care of the passengers. Just happened to arrive the same time they were having the Cebu Dragon Boat races. There's a couple of yachts over there at the Mactan Yacht Club. So anyway, it was a great trip to Camotes Island, and I was going to make this a little shorter, but I wanted to include all this type of thing. It's important to some people, boring to others. Anyway, thank you for coming along, and please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.